You're listening to the Elevated News Podcast with two dope dudes. Here are your hosts, Dave and Aaron. Welcome to the Elevated News Podcast with two dope dudes. We're a podcast focused on discussing local and national cannabis news and culture. I am Aaron.
I'm Dave.
Yeah, we're here. We're the two dope dudes.
Hello.
Two dope boys in a Cadillac.
Oh, yeah. Hell yeah.
Yeah, shout out. Shout out to Smoking with Savages.
I had such a good time.
Yeah, that was super fun.
Dee and Tank and Drew are phenomenal humans.
Yep.
I absolutely wish them the best in their journey to try and do kind of along the same things that we're doing. Just talk cannabis and bring light to it. And
Culture. For sure.
Promote the culture, build the
yeah.
culture. Yep. Make it acceptable.
Yeah, it was a really fun time. I'm glad I got you to do it. Well, it didn't take much convincing. Some things it takes some convincing for you to do, like please come to this event or something like that. But you were like, yeah, this is cool. Let's do it.
I'm into this.
Yeah, it was fun. Yeah. Nice studio too. Very kind. Gave us gift bags. You should.
It's so cool.
Super awesome.
Yeah.
Like it's,
Yeah, I respect that. Yeah, way over the top of what I expected. I walked in completely blind to the situation and ended up stumbling into some amazing people doing some really cool stuff. They had a lot of good weed.
Yeah.
We smoked a lot of it.
Yeah, we smoked a lot of weed.
I was pretty cooked up.
Yeah, I know. And we didn't actually smoke that much weed.
No.
Relatively.
No. I just don't smoke sesh like that anymore.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Although I think my tolerance is getting kind of like peaked again. I'm starting to not feel the anxious, weird stuff anymore. Because I was for a while. And when I came back, I was like, holy shit, I know why people get scared of this thing now. It can really give you a mollywop if you ain't ready for it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I was trying to smoke like I used to. So
low and slow, baby.
It mollywop.
Low and slow.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hell yeah. Shout out to barbecue. We look forward to the next time Tank said he's like big into barbecue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm into that.
Yeah. It was a dope time. Thanks. It was fun.
Yeah.
Let's do more stuff.
All the local people who pitched in and supported and stuff too.
Yeah.
Shout outs. All the love.
Yeah. We had fun. I had fun. I did some podcasting with Marky Love at the last indoor market.
How was the last indoor market?
It was, dude, they sold like 500 tickets.
Holy
I mean, they were free tickets on, event, whatever.
Yeah.
And, so like they got a bunch of interest, and I think they said like they had like 300 or 400 people through the door.
Wow.
Yeah, so
That's really cool.
It was dope. It was dope. I was in and out. I had stuff to do, but it was cool to see people, and it was cool to,
I miss our boy Marky Love. I haven't seen him in a while.
Yeah, dude. He
miss all them friends.
Yeah, dude. They're super cool.
I need the weather to get better so we can go hang out.
Yeah. There's gonna be some cool stuff this summer.
Yeah.
You should come up to Illinois Rosin competition.
Just stop being so far away.
I know. You know what? I know.
Bro, come out here into the cornfields and shit, yo.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, what the hell?
Well,
anyway.
There'll be a couple ones out here this year.
Yeah, good.
Supposedly.
Good.
Purportedly.
I like that.
Oh, yeah. You want to do plugs real quick and we can get into the news?
Run it up.
Yeah. You can find us, the Elevated News Podcast, on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and all your other favorite streaming and podcast apps. Just Google Two Dope Dudes. You'll find us. We have the @2dopedudes YouTube channel. Give us a like, leave a review. Thanks for all the views. This helps us reach more people. We appreciate it. And you can find us on supportdopepeople.com. There's shirts, and there's links to Dave's YouTube community, and there's links to the other pods that we do. Will be up there in audio and video form. You can actually just watch the playlist on the website if you like.
Always come by Thursday nights, please.
Yeah. And I got some shout out to the homies who gave me stickers this weekend. and I got some new stickers coming out. So, good news for everybody who has been waiting on me, which is actually not that many people because I've sent out a bunch, but I have some new stickers to include. So, sign up there. I'm Aaron.
And I'm Dave, and we're the Two Dope Dudes. We're here to tell you about the Crop Culture Box, where you get a curated selection of quality grow items and seeds to help you plant with a purpose.
Use our code 2DOPEDUDES for $10 off any box, $100 or more for new customers. Get the Goat Holiday Box and check out their selection of seeds too.
That's cropculture.net. Use the code 2DOPEDUDES.
Our friend, MrCBDChicago.com. If you like CBD products, if you like
If you haven't
animal
tried 'em, you
products,
should try 'em.
there's some, I actually, a bunch of the homies I saw walking around with Mr. CBD products this weekend, including some of his hemp oil and his hemp wine that he sells, CBD wine, which is really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was cool to see. It was
Yeah.
cool to see.
Thanks.
But use the code 2DOPEDUDES for 10% off if you would like to try his stuff and order it online.
Yeah. Thanks, Mr. CBD, for being there.
Yeah.
You're a great guy.
Yeah.
Also, check out The Green Grow, www.thegreengro.com. And again, use the code 2DOPEDUDES. That's TWODOPEDUDES.
Yep.
I don't know why I spelled that all the way out. It felt right at the time. Anyway, yeah, use that. Get 10% off your order. What else we got going on?
Not much, but I did just show you the green grow stuff downstairs. They have the potting soil, and
Very cool.
I know they just started social media for the green grow home and garden because they are it's not just soil for cannabis, it's also soil like for your plants, for gardening tomatoes, carrots, stuff like that. Green grow is a great resource for everything that your soil needs. So you
Thanks,
should,
Green Grow.
yeah.
Yeah.
I think I think I'll cut that out, but I think my point was
No, I
it's
like
pretty
it.
cool.
No, people should know that.
Yeah.
Look, I like growing plants.
I
Well, I
know.
only grow 2 of them.
Well, you always had
I've
the
said this
plants
before.
out front, sitting on the
yeah.
porch, you
Yeah.
know.
Well, I like aloes.
Yeah.
You know, and I got
Some of
what's
that.
the other one I got going on over there?
Oh, you had that like purple jasper lily
Yeah,
thing.
what the hell is it?
The
No.
butterfly stuff, right? Or
Yeah,
no,
I
the
can't-
hummingbird stuff.
Oh,
Yeah,
that
the
shit was
hummingbird
good.
ones. Yeah,
Yeah,
all the hummingbirds would come by.
Yeah, what is it? Salvia fucking strain or something.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was cool.
crazy enough.
Awesome.
Anyway, yeah. Yeah.
Smoking weed
That's
on
how
Dave's
my-
front porch. A lot of time spent.
Destroying plants and watching plants grow.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Only greened out one time.
Yeah. There's been a few. Quite a few.
No, me only once.
Well, yeah, not you directly. There's been quite a few.
I'm sure
on
a bunch of
board.
people have. Yeah, for sure.
Yep. Anywho, yeah. Also, I said the Thursday thing. Come check me out on Thursday nights, please. 8 p.m. YouTube, Peace, Love, and Cope. I love y'all. Thanks.
Hell yeah. YouTube comments. I know we got.
Shit, Can of Chris. Let's go, bro.
That's what I was saying. Yeah.
That
so
goat
Chris
tangerine,
right there.
that was real nice.
Yeah.
It was absolutely really nice.
I am also growing that right now from goat. That specific cut.
Yeah.
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 I'm sure if Chris is running low, I'll have some for you.
Okay.
Also, shout out Chris is doing some pictures of some recent harvest I did. So that's gonna be cool.
Dope.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then this person, AABB SB7MM, thank you for another great episode. Check out the full text of House Bill 4799. My understanding was the bill was amended such as that any Illinois resident over 21 can grow 5 without a medical license. And then he commented, oh, wait, I think it just didn't pass, which is correct. It's a dead bill.
Yeah.
And then love the Swiss Army knife analogy.
Yeah, it is.
It's really good.
It very much so is. Yeah. And yeah, Can of Chris, all the love to you, brother. Thanks for doing what you're doing.
He always, I'm gonna go hang out with him this week. You should come hang out too.
Yeah.
Come see his garden. I'm sure I would ask him. But I'm supposed to go hang out with him this week. Should be fun.
Sweet.
Love that dude. Let's get into the news.
Tell me about it.
Okay.
What's going on out there?
So, I know everybody's already talked about this, and this will be 2 weeks out, but it's still fun to talk about. Biden falsely suggests marijuana pardons expunge records and release prisoners while campaigning on promises kept. I saw a bunch of stuff on social media, and I'm like, yeah, I should probably do something like that too, but I don't care. I don't care enough to make social media about it. I'm not against it. I guess this is making social media about it, isn't it?
To a degree. I mean,
I just
yeah.
mean like right away.
Well, right.
You know what I mean? I'm
Right.
like, fine, we'll be 2 weeks late.
Yeah.
President Joe Biden is again inflating the impact of his pardons for marijuana offenses, falsely suggesting that his act of clemency expunged records and that people were released from prisons. I mean, we've talked about this before. A promise made and a promise kept, he said during a campaign speech in South Carolina on Saturday, which is what he said. What we said that it was completely just so he could say that he did it. And this is just news reporting that he did what we said he was going to do.
I'm sorry. I just heard him say that. Never mind. I just heard him mumble through it a little bit in my head, and I don't know why I started
Did you hear
giggling
me
so-
mumble through it? Or
No, I
okay, you
heard
Joe Biden. Yeah.
saying those words.
Clear as a bell. Clear as a bell. Clear. Nothing's wrong with Joe Biden. He's clear as a bell. The man's 80 years old. He's
I don't
riding bicycles.
Pay attention enough to stuff, and then I don't know how it came up recently. I've heard his speech more, and like I don't know how much I've laughed. Like,
what do you mean?
Yeah. I don't know why it's a laughing point to me.
No, come on.
I don't pay attention.
We're serious here. Come on.
Yeah, I don't pay attention to politics. I think it's funny as hell.
No, come on.
Yeah.
Like, we're being serious here. Come on. What do you mean? Come on. I'm being serious.
Yeah.
I'm really talking about something here.
Yeah.
It's real. Expunged. Done. So
a promise. I like ice cream.
Yeah, I like ice cream. Hell yeah, you like that Jane and Mary's?
Yeah.
Yeah, you got
Give me
some of that, right? Didn't you get some of that?
No.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I would like to.
Yeah.
I need it. Yeah.
You should come see Mr. CBD. Dude, that's what he needs to bring the fucking freezer out with some Jane and Mary's. I can't believe he doesn't do that.
Right.
Well, he had a nice setup at the spot.
Really?
Yeah, he was right across from Bob. Briggs from Split Society was like a few spots over, and then also next to Kevin from Goat Genetics. Yeah, it was dope.
Wow.
There's a lot of vendors there. It was like, it was like some of the stuff I've seen in Chicago.
Nice.
Yeah, it was dope. There's a lot of vendors there. So yeah, get those VIPs. Like the people who throw these parties can't really advertise what you're getting, but like, if it's a reputable spot, get their VIP if you can afford it, because it's you get hooked up for sure.
Yeah.
And everybody's got to make money, man. Like, it costs money to put those things on. You know what I mean? I kept my promises when I said no one should be in prison for merely possessing marijuana or using it, and their record should be expunged, Biden said.
I love that it said no one. No, I'm sorry.
Yeah, fact check. The president has routinely framed a mass cannabis pardon as an example of him fulfilling cannabis campaign pledges, but he's also frequently misstated the practical effects of the action. A presidential pardon represents formal forgiveness from the government, but it does not expunge the record. Yeah, no shit. Several thousands of people have received the pardon for federal marijuana possession offenses under a pair of proclamations issued in 2022 and last month. The Justice Department has been distributing certificates to eligible people who apply for the largely symbolic document.
It's a symbolic document, but these fucking people have been kept from applying for jobs for how long?
Here we go.
They've been fucking imprisoned for fucking how long? Fuck these motherfuckers.
The
paid
pardon
fines.
means that you're forgiven, but you still have a criminal record.
Yeah, exactly.
The certificate says.
Shut the fuck up. That is the dumbest shit.
Shout out to the people.
What a political play, dude. I just really need to like try and win a few more votes. Bitch, you ain't getting
that's all it
votes
is.
from nobody from that.
That's all that this is.
Ain't nobody gonna look at that fucking certificate and fucking go, "Oh, great! I don't give a flying fuck. I'm forgiven." Shut the fuck up. That's the dumbest shit. I didn't do anything wrong in the fucking beginning. Give my money back that you took, you fucking crooks. How about that shit? Give my time back that you wasted while I fucking had to go through your dumbass shit.
Shout out to people like 8 Decades who you haven't met yet, but they do a podcast and they also do some accoutrements. They have the Weedman 420. Uh, so, yes, they were also there, and they're more like Chicago based, but they're starting to get out here. So they have like really nice stuff. Like they have like a whole setup, and
Okay.
then they have the Weedman 420 Chronicles, and then they are part of like Last Prisoner
I
Project.
think you might have told me
I
about
I
this a
know I
little bit.
have.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I love these people.
Yeah. I respect the hell out of it.
And there's a couple more different um associations in Illinois, like doing stuff for expunging records. I know, and shout out to like the people who do that work too. That's super important. I think it's a great thing.
Okay.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Like that a lot because
Yeah,
this
we're
shit right
still
here,
putting
this little
people.
fucking pardon bullshit is
Yeah.
that's the biggest fucking joke I've ever heard in my life.
Well, this is all politics is anyway. It doesn't matter who you put in there, the system is fucked. Like the there's too much government.
Well, and we understand that this is nothing more than some like attempt to run a country as a fucking business or some shit. And the fact that
It's not even true
the
free market capitalism because it is so regulated.
a
It is
1000%.
regulated capitalism.
Well, and
Or actually corporatism is
it's who's your best fucking friends. Because if your friends are the people who are cutting down trees by the fucking millions,
right.
then you're never gonna fucking all your friends are gonna lose their fucking jobs and their
Yep.
companies and their fucking whatever because you want some new progressive fucking shit to come through. Ain't gonna happen.
Well, it's like they want to switch to all electric vehicles, but we don't actually have the infrastructure or the technology
No.
for that sort of power grid because we are so dependent on other things and not actually as dependent on nuclear power as we should be.
I've heard
Because
some
nuclear
wild
power is
shit.
actually very, very safe and
Well,
very, very efficient. And, uh, you know, uh, but we've been like mentally trained that it's a bad thing.
I'm weirded out by the energy thing now.
So, like, yeah, they
I've
want.
been weirded out. I've been reading a little bit
Well,
more,
are you
looking a
starting to
little
read
bit
into
more in
like
depth.
these the tokens and stuff and the carbon credits and stuff?
Well, I've already so I knew
Okay.
about that a
Right.
little bit, more or less the push for what is green energy and how inefficient it actually is
Correct.
compared to
Correct.
the kind of detriment to some of the things
Correct.
that are going on. And a lot of places have been like, I heard some weird shit about
We're
solar panels and how reflecting the sun keeps it kind of helps almost bake the I don't know, man. It was like talking about the local environment to it. You pretty much are turning that shit into a desert because
same.
then
Yeah.
nothing around it, like it's reflecting sunlight so aggressively that it's I don't know what the fuck they were saying, but more or less that um you're pretty much destroying the air and the ground around where you're putting these solar
Yeah.
farms because it
Because it's a wasteland and you don't
yeah.
actually get sunlight to the soil underneath, so your soil biology dies, so nothing will grow there,
Right, and then
and
but
that
that spreads
continues
out
to
kinda
leach. Yes,
cancerously.
that continues to leach nutrients from around the soil, and then you just have overall,
Yeah, like I
yeah,
said too, he said something about kinda heating the air around that area as well because it's black, whatever, and you could imagine it keeps that heat kind of stuck or whatever. The environment directly around them tends to be a little more superheated than other places around, and I
you should ask Alex. Let's ask Alex about that.
he might know some
No,
shit.
he honestly would. We were talking about a video game last night where it's kind of like Kerbal Space Program. It's called Stationeers.
Okay,
Okay. And instead of, because you're familiar with Kerbal, right?
a little bit.
A little bit, but like you understand what it is.
Yes.
So it's like that, except for science and chemistry. And then you go to other planets, and then you have to like build and then do all the like chemical, like
That's pretty dope.
that's what I'm saying. He would definitely know.
Yeah, that's
He
pretty
that
dope.
seems like something he would know.
Yeah.
It's
Hey,
same vein, right?
yeah. I'm not. Maybe the thing is, because we were talking about it the other day. The fucking hemp batteries that they're
Yeah,
making now
yeah.
are like super more efficient than the other batteries, lithium that we're
Mm-hmm.
making, and lithium's very tough to mine and done in the dirtiest fucking ways. Anyway,
Yeah, with
but
humans, with actual humans and slaves, which is
pretty much
something, you know.
right. Gross.
So
Check.
on to the next part.
Yeah,
Uh, Man, I grew some good weed.
yeah, I like it.
Yeah, me
Real
too.
nice. It,
Yeah, I'm over it.
it kind of sucks.
It does suck,
Biden's fucking
dude. I don't even know.
pardon bullshit.
I don't
I
even
don't
know.
like it.
It's caucus season and it's like all the gross stuff, and I'm like,
Caucus.
well, I mean, it's very easy to see what's going on. Who's winning? Who's going to win?
Caw.
Yeah. Senators tell DEA to fully legalize marijuana, demanding answers on rescheduling process. Um, they can demand all they want, or they could actually get a bill and change the CSA. 12
Cool.
senators, I mean, this is still good. 12 senators are calling on the DEA to fully legalize cannabis and answer questions about the agency's ongoing scheduling review. In a letter sent to Attorney General Merrick Garland and DEA Administrator Ann Milgram on Monday, the lawmakers, led by Elizabeth Warren, who is heavily invested in cannabis now, John Fetterman, who is, I don't know, I don't pay attention enough. Like,
Mm.
I know who he is, but I don't care.
Mm.
Along with Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer, who we've reported that he is now, all up in Brooklyn with the cannabis companies, so he's for it. And other champions of marijuana reform.
The champs are here.
The champs are here. The ones that are super invested with all the companies now and making money. Denounced the devastating impact and out-of-step policy of prohibition, arguing that the cannabis should be fully removed from the Controlled Substances Act. True.
Yeah, that's a fact. I do
But
like
it's
that.
posturing and nothing's going to happen.
No.
Doing so would present a rare opportunity to shape the new cannabis industry from the ground up, allowing us to get rich, designating a federal regulatory system untainted by the corporate capture that has influenced alcohol and tobacco regulations, and advancing federal cannabis reforms that acknowledge and repair the harms of cannabis criminalization. I mean, that is all good. And God, if I'm wrong and that actually happens, like the whole world changes. And
Well,
and
and
then we've been in the dawning of Aquarius, and we're in the age of Aquarius now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
My
I
mom's
don't
gonna
know.
love that I know that.
Yeah.
She's gonna be like, you would.
We've talked about it enough here lately. I just don't see fucking Schedule 3 making any sense for anybody. I think they even know that, and I don't think that fucking a bunch of pharmacists went to school necessarily for all of the bullshit that they did, medical terminology, to come over here and learn fucking Alaskan Thunderfuck and Cooter Poots or whatever the fuck the new name of cannabis is now. I don't think
Uh,
they give a shit, honestly.
shout out to Mr. CBD. I saw on his table this weekend Alaskan Thunderfuck, Purple Panty Dropper, and some other stuff.
You just get the best names. You know what I mean? Like, but
I
that's
don't know.
the thing.
People who grow, sometimes the name doesn't matter. It's actually about the legacy and about the breeder.
1,000%.
Yeah, 1,000%.
1,000%. And I respect that
And
infinitely.
that's
Like
way
people
more.
still love DJ Short and fucking,
Hey man, I still like Crisscross.
Crisscross.
Actually, you know who I still like Another Bad Creation.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Well,
Belle Biv DeVoe, Boys to Men.
oh,
Yeah,
Jesus, Louises.
the East Coast Family. Never skip a
Oh,
beat.
down
No.
Philly
Yeah,
back again.
right.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway,
We're just some farm boys.
yeah. Well, no, you're right.
If people actually knew.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So while rescheduling to Schedule 3 would mark a significant step forward, it would not resolve the worst harms of the current system, the senator's letter, which was first reported by NBC News, says. Thus, the DEA should deschedule marijuana altogether.
That's what they should do.
But they've already said it's up to us.
It's kind of weird.
Yeah.
And they don't have to answer much. I saw some shit the other
No,
day.
they don't even have
and
to pass inspections or audits or anything.
They're kind of a shady bunch.
I am for abolishing starting with the Federal Reserve would be number one.
Yeah. Usually, yeah.
ATF, DEA, FBI, all of them.
IRS.
IRS. Well, no, with the Federal Reserve, obviously,
Yeah.
the IRS can go
The
fuck themselves.
HHS.
Yeah, all of them.
I'm just reading the ones
No,
on the fucking
the
at the
problem.
NBC.
I'm not saying that they haven't individually done things that are good, or that there are purposes that you could argue that they are good at. But what I'm saying is that the people that are working there don't really have that much oversight, and you know, they end up fucking people like us the most.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Well,
They're committing wars and genocides and secret games in other countries, and you know what I mean? Like, that's their job, and like we need less of that.
that's some shady shit.
It is some shady shit. But I mean, I understand like there are parts where like that's how it works, but like we're in everybody's country a lot of times against their will with our military bases, enforcing other people.
We should give our own government some weed, man. They sound like they need
Yeah.
to hit a weed or two. Yeah.
I mean, I'm like super anti-war, anti putting people in jail. Like, I think,
Yeah, that's why I said
you know what
last
I'm
week,
saying?
atomic bomb. Get rid of the atomic
Yeah.
bomb. Let's get the atomic bomb
Yeah,
out
we
there.
need the mother of all bongs.
Yeah.
Yeah, the MOAG.
Yeah. Instead of years of devastation and radiation,
Yeah.
we have years
Actually, I was
Brilliant.
reading something about nuclear weapons the other day,
820s.
and it's not actually, it's less likely that there would be actually any fallout uh, in the newer nuclear weapons, because unlike what we dropped on Hiroshima, there's actually it's just like a big explosion, like bigger than you could even imagine. But
I heard, oh, yeah.
yeah,
I heard the other day it
but it
was,
ain't gonna be like Fallout 3. There's not gonna be, unless it's a dirty bomb, unless they're actually doing that. But most countries are basically they know they don't.
I'm,
It's
I'm,
against the rules of engagement.
I listened to some guy the other day. He said, I'm high and now I'm pondering all this shit.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the things that he said made his mind think a lot was that in a certain zone outside of a nuclear bomb, there is a zone where like all of the frozen pizzas would be cooked perfectly.
Nice. No, there's like the perfect zone.
And
Yeah.
I was like, that fucked my fucking brain up. And that is one of the wildest like twists on this shit. But
I mean, by the laws of
you want to start thinking
probability.
about, well, I mean, it just is what it is.
Yeah.
Perfect. Cooked perfect. That's disgusting. It's the craziest shit I've ever heard in my life.
Well, I mean, at that
but
sort
it
of
makes your mind
explosion,
think.
yeah,
We're
it's so large that there's different temperatures at different points
Yeah.
within the sphere or the radius.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's, like I said, it's bigger than you could even imagine.
Yeah.
You know.
It's like I said, get rid of that shit. That shit's scary as fuck. It's smoking weed. Hey, no matter how much weed you've ever smoked and you've been how fucked up and weirded out and having a rough time, you ain't never been atomic bomb fucking smoked out. That's some scary shit, bro. So let's just get back into weed, man. That's
I mean, they should
smoke weed every day.
they should just legalize, like completely deregulate, delegalize, like or not delegalize, but like just make it completely legal. Let it be done and over with, and then we can just get on with it, and they can, figure it out.
I mean, fucking do the
I mean,
same
they'll make
shit you're doing with alcohol and
Yeah,
fucking cigarettes. You're making fucking killer money. They have been
yeah.
forever. And the fact that this shit
I
is
mean,
like,
there's still sales tax, like it's fucking whatever. But
that's
like,
what
just
I'm.
let it all happen. Let everybody in. Let everybody do what the fuck. You know what I mean?
But it's
And
not like
like, we can
See, it's
actually
not
get
like
to it.
the federal government, according to their stagger of how much they owe to how much they bring in, they gotta make, like, trillion-dollar transactions, right? And, like, we're making, like, billions of dollars worth of revenue, which is just piddly change, okay? When you're only making fucking $400 million of taxes here in Illinois, and we go, "Only? You crazy as hell, that's $400 million in taxes." It don't mean piddly shit to the thunderous fucks up top who just are raking in unbelievable amounts of revenue,
I mean, our government exists to
but
run
it's
as a
war now that they
corporation, but
make their money. But,
yeah,
hey,
it's war and theft
that's
of
what I'm saying.
yeah,
Change your ideology, get away from the war, and
yeah.
get into the fucking drug game, bro.
Well, we have
Sheesh.
to be creative in the ways that we take more money from people because we have to fund the war machine because we that's how we
We should fund the drug machine, make everybody come together and start growing weed and
dude,
mushrooms.
if that would actually revolutionize America.
It'll
America would have
revolutionize the whole rock.
well, I mean, George Washington fucking talked about getting back to the farm and fucking growing weed and growing hemp. And he talked about, removing the males so that he could have the strongest medicine for the teas for like the stomach ailments and stuff like that. This was like part of their life going back to George Washington, Valley Forge, when we were fighting the French and we were fighting the British, and because they wanted to tax us 3%, 3%. But hemp and marijuana was a part of their life. They used it for clothing, they used it for all sorts of things, ropes, and they used it as medicine. And that was stuff that, they learned from their people. Jefferson and Washington would be appalled to know that marijuana, cannabis, and hemp is so regulated and actually illegal.
Yeah,
100%.
a lot of us are appalled. It's
Well, I
just
know, but I mean, it's just it's ridiculous that like at this point that we're arguing over like this fucking plant that has been a part of humans' lives for since the beginning. You know what I mean? Like,
well, one of my favorite theories with cannabis is that it used to be so regularly available, and it still does. It grows in the wild quite regularly. But it used to be so widely available, and tons of animals eat this shit because
yeah,
it's actually a great source of fucking nutrients. And something about they were stimulated by cannabinoids, so when we ate them, they were. It was just a better delivery system for us too, and it stimulated our endocannabinoid system by having a um, rich in cannabinoid and healthy animals too. So anyway, yeah, I don't know. It's crazy.
yeah. I was trying to look something up that was similar. I was reading something about I can't find it now on the spot. Yeah, the endocannabinoid system being around hundreds of thousands of years before even humans, different organisms and stuff, and which means that like the endocannabinoid system actually formed in people and animals before the cannabis and hemp plant was around.
It's just a
You know what I
regular.
mean?
Well,
And
and
that's how
that's
far back that our like humans and cannabis go that far. Like
it's
it,
purely just a regulatory
right?
system. It's just a regulatory system, and that's what I've talked about it before too. It's maybe bad that we called it the endocannabinoid system because we believe that only cannabinoids are stimulating it when we already know that there's plenty of other things at play in the endocannabinoid system and can be synergistic links between other systems of your body like your immune or your central nervous system or okay. So anyway,
Yeah,
yeah.
super awesome. So, where are we at here in this?
The senators are telling the DEA, but are they going to we're pretty much sure that they're never going to get that
Yeah,
to go.
no way.
Yeah, and they simply just keep using the same verbiage at different times to try
Here's
and get it to
this
pay.
is this is a new thing because we've reported on most of this. Um, the senator's letters concludes the DEA has never kept a drug in Schedule 1 after HHS recommended removing it, and it must not do so now. It is imperative that the DEA remove marijuana from Schedule 1, as several members of Congress and states' attorney generals have urged. Yeah, we had reported that, including our Attorney General, Kwame Raoul, was, yeah, that's awesome. The DEA must do so promptly. Its past record of taking years to resolve rescheduling petitions should not be repeated here. Furthermore, the DEA and HHS should be fully transparent about the evidence relied upon in the course of their review processes. The Biden administration has a window of opportunity to deschedule marijuana that has not existed in decades and should reach the right conclusion. Consistent with the clear scientific and public health rationale for removing marijuana from Schedule 1, and with the imperative of relieving the burden of current federal marijuana policy on ordinary people and small businesses. Yeah. Signed by all Democrats. Bernie Sanders, Senator Cory Booker, Jeff Merkley, Kristen Gillibrand, Ron Wyden, John Hickenlooper, Peter
That's a
Welch,
sweet ass name.
Chris Van Hollen, and Alex Padilla. Yeah. That's
There you go.
I like that part.
No, that was good. That
Yeah.
was good. It is past time.
Yeah, it is
What
past
the
time.
fuck are we waiting for
Just
anymore?
let it happen.
Yeah.
Here's an op-ed, but I thought it was going to be fun to talk. I think it will be fun to talk about because I actually, uh, it has to do with vaping as well. And so, and I've been vaping helped me quit cigarettes after being a heavy cigarette smoker in 2011, and I've not smoked a cigarette since. And now it is just a thing that I like to do. I have like 1 milligram nicotine, so it's like not a nicotine thing. It's just a thing that I enjoy the flavor, and I like to do it, and it is much healthier than smoking. And I think smoking cessation is a great thing. A recent Fifth U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals opinion on vaping sheds light on why federal cannabis legalization must be accompanied by sensible regulatory framework that is administered and enforced by the right agency, is what it says. The court's opinion in Wages and White Lion Investment LLC versus the Food and Drug Administration, I don't know how to say that word, excoriates the U.S. Food and Drug Administration for its handling of flavored e-cigarettes and underscores the dangers to the public and industry that result from ideological rather than logical regulation. The threat of not plotting out a viable federal regulatory landscape, we know the feds already have their eye on this space, is worrisome for all cannabis businesses and consumers, and particularly the vape sector, which now makes up nearly 25% of the market because of all the extracts and stuff like that. And the need to set the cannabis industry on a sensible federal regulatory path has only grown more urgent in light of the recent Department of Health and Human Services recommendation to move marijuana from Schedule 3 to Schedule 1. So the court's
What's that?
ruling, yeah. So the court's ruling arose from FDA's denial of pre-market tobacco product applications, what is known as the PMTAs, for certain flavored vape products. It is determined that FDA sent manufacturers of flavored e-cigarette products on a wild goose chase by consistently shifting guidance on what would be required for approval of flavored vape products and ultimately raising those requirements to such a high level that the agency effectively imposed a ban. Yes, what happened is that for years and years, uh, it was just open market, and people opened up vape shop businesses, and there was a bunch of people that made businesses by selling flavored e-cigarette juice. There was a culture for a while of like blowing clouds and doing tricks and like making it could get like really technical as far as like making coils, and different coils would do different things and would result in different flavors,
Mm.
similar to like cigars or pipe smokers. And it was really cool. And then what happened is that they said, "Nah, we don't like that. We're gonna start regulating it, and you're gonna have to. We have to make sure these are safe for our children, and we have to make sure that like the stuff doesn't taste like candy because of the children." And basically, they just regulated the hell out of it, and all those businesses have shut down.
They've used that in cannabis a lot too.
Exactly.
The anti-cannabis ads are
Correct.
constantly geared at children. It's always like bright colored and candy related and whatever. Don't let your and it shows a package of like M&Ms and M's and Snickers and whatever next to their fake whatever, the cannabis packaging, and it's like don't let your kids get confused. It's always geared at the children, and it's never geared at the people that you already have restrictions against using it from the fucking beginning. Everything, at least from when I've been around, you had to be at least 18 to fucking get into these places and consume shit to begin with, right?
Right. And yeah, you it's
So there's
not like
already
a
regulation against
yeah,
it.
there's already regulation. You have to ID people. It's still nicotine. Like, but it's unfortunate because it helped a lot of people. And especially in the beginning, it was to help people stop smoking. And then, the technical stuff started happening where people were getting into things. And so they said, well, everybody has to have a PMTA for every device on the market. Every device that you have, every flavor, every single component, you have to send in this patent for this device. Okay, each one costs $1 million. This juice, this flavor of juice, you have to send in. You have to disclose your recipe. All it is vegetable glycerin, food flavoring that you can buy
Yeah,
from the manufacturers, which is what is used in, I don't know, everything that we eat,
yeah,
okay, and nicotine. That's
yeah,
it. But what small company who's maybe making 80 grand a year doing something that they love, but making a living and helping people
yeah,
not
yeah,
smoke cigarettes and not kill themselves, while it may not be the best thing to vaporize those things into your lungs, it is still much better than smoking cigarettes.
yeah. I
And
mean,
you can
yeah,
smell again, you get your breath back. It's saved my life. It was great.
yeah,
But so they shut all these companies down by saying that. So that's what happened. So the court's decision denounced FDA arbitrary and capricious conduct, stating that the agency had not dealt fairly with applicants who spent untold millions conforming their behavior and their application to FDA's say so. This ruling cast doubt on FDA's mass denial letter of over 1 million PMTAs for flavored vapes, despite substantial evidence concerning those products' benefit in aiding adult smoking cessation and the myriad steps taken by applicants to minimize the chances that minors could access the products. FDA's approach to nicotine vape approvals serves as a stark reminder of why we must have the right regulatory framework and oversight. Wrong. We should have none. Well, this is an op ed, and they're talking about the more suitable regulatory alternative to FDA, such as the ATF and the Tax and Trade Bureau, instead of I just think it's unfortunate that such a thing that could actually help people got ruined by money, and that's why I think that you should become involved with places like Can Equity Illinois, who are taking people down to Springfield to meet their representatives to advocate for common sense things, because government, those people only care about people showing up and money. And so if you don't have a lot of money, you should at least show up at least once or twice, you know what I mean? And see what it's like. Um, it's just it's unfortunate it's about that, and you have to do something to change it because otherwise they will uh, shut down your business, shut down your livelihood, shut down something that's helping you, something that's medicine, something that's they have no business being in. It's unfortunate.
hey,
Fuck them. Shout out to CASA.org, CASAA. This is Harm Reduction Saves Lives. They're the Consumer Advocates for Smoke Free Alternative Association. They are very big into, or they were, I don't know much about them anymore, but they were a good resource for um, how to quit smoking cigarettes, how vaping is a better alternative, how to read CDC's confusingly presented youth vaping data. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, you know what I mean?
good.
So shout out
Yeah,
to
get
them, and it is a good resource. They have lots of stories. They
which
were very involved with,
cigarettes kill 100,000 people a year.
yeah, yeah.
I just
I used to be
the
a CASA
numbers of
member
our
when I was more
friends and
into it.
family that are falling over because of the fucking things that they're allowed to do that we know are harmful to them, and just so that somebody can make some tax money comparatively, you know, I mean, I don't know.
Yeah,
Just do your thing, baby. Make sure you're taking care of yourself. Take your health into your own hands.
yeah.
Don't let the anxiety of all this shit either get too much for you, because it doesn't really matter. At
But
the end of the day, the laws that you follow are the ones in your fucking home,
yeah,
and that's it. Like,
but
to me,
you should be aware
you
of
should be
what the laws
aware.
are, and you should be aware of what they're trying to do, so you can have a better understanding of what's going
You
on.
gotta know how to be cool,
You know what I'm
man. That's what
saying?
we were talking about last week, I think, too. You just gotta know how to be fucking cool about it.
Yeah,
If some shit comes up, and that's like all of it, right? No matter what it is, you have to talk. You have to know what specific lingos actually exist. Um, Read the laws, right? Like, and it's interpretable. That's the fucking hardest part about all of this. No matter what you say, it's an interpretable thing. Um, we get to play, which is a beautiful thing, as not being the government themselves who have to make all the rules or pretend to make rules. We get to play the dumb side and go, oh, fucking no. So, just know what you need to know and then play dumb to what you maybe don't. And we'll get by all right. We're going to be all right. Smoke some weed and get into your own little space. Get a little network of like-minded smokers and cannabis consumers. Come to some of these events. Realize that there's way more going on in this motherfucker than all that crazy agenda pushing bullshit to make you get all wired up and fucking. The more pissed off you get, the more ready to do some shit you are. So all they're trying to do is piss you the fuck off so you go do some shit. Get over it. It's all right. None of
so
that shit fucking matters. Smoke weed every day.
let's go over this. This was actually submitted by somebody who listens to the podcast. And so this is coming from, they deal with the growing side and the processing side. And not so much processing in some ways, but they're on the growing side. And they're legal. Growing actual THCA hemp and cannabis and doing breeding projects and stuff. So uh, this is SB 2772. I'm sorry, SB Senate Bill 2772, and this was they were saying that they actually changed it so that um, the way that it's tested is how it originally came up, and how it actually screws people from growing THCA, and that they could start enforcing that because they've changed the way that it is uh, tested. So I think here is we know what a COA is, right? A certificate of analysis.
Correct.
All right. Hemp means cannabis sativa L that has no more than 3% total THC available upon heating, or maximum delta 9 content possible.
So there is a wild go back up to that,
Sure.
because that's the whole Frank and beans of this whole entire thing.
Well, before they were testing, what they were testing was different, correct? This is a new way that they're testing. This is 10. So this was last year,
Okay.
right? Because this is 100th General Assembly. We're coming on to the 103rd General Assembly. So
Okay.
this was, I believe, the year before, and then enacted last year.
Yep.
Okay. So this is a newer thing that what we're being told is that a lot of people don't know or realize yet,
Well,
which is
and
why they're bringing it up,
yeah,
which we appreciate.
so the reason it got brought up is because there is a we've been talking about this law, this one specifically, the farm bill that states that 0.3% THC total by volume or total THC available upon heating or maximum delta 9 THC content possible. So what that is stating is possibly because once upon heating, if it's more than zero point 0.3 by total volume, that now you're still breaking the law. But, and this is where I think people are skirting the whole thing. What you do with this shit after you take it home is completely on you.
Right.
Don't put fire to it. Because if you were to, upon heating it, you definitely would trigger that thing to be more than the Delta 9 possible content.
Well,
It might,
without this person has a lot of their. Oh, I mean, all of their stuff is tested by an Illinois laboratory.
well, and that's what
You
I'm
know what
saying.
I'm saying? And so that's where they are seeing the change coming from. I'm just putting it in
Yeah,
context.
100%. I just think that and maybe that's it. Maybe from the state side, if that's what he's saying, is that they are going to start setting this shit on fire to test it. And if it comes up over 0.3%, then you're fucked. Well, then everybody's fucked who has
Right.
any cannabis, period. That hemp itself, even in its raw, like just purely used for grain state, is I think I mean, I don't even know, but my guesstimation is there's enough cannabinoids because that is a protected part of the plant that you may be able to get fucking point 0.3 if you start torching shit.
Right.
So, no, he might be absolutely right. I'm just telling you that and what I've been saying and why I've been kind of up in arms is because almost it seems like there's a big hole in this thing and I don't know that any of what I'm saying would be right or not, but if it came down to a court case or whatever, that total THC, whatever, all of those words, the upon heating, they would all be inspected with a fine tooth comb so that somebody could play on either side. I just wouldn't want to be the first one to fucking go through it, right? I don't want to be the one who finds out if THCA flower is legal or not legal according to the fucking whatever, but people are skirting the law is what I'm saying based off of verbiage that is very loosely stated and also very interpretable. It's very well, you don't say the words THCA in there. You don't say when
Um.
THCA is heated to. Now it does say upon heating in that one statement, so that
So
statement might be the one that gets
this
hammered.
is this is the Section 90. The Cannabis Control Act is amended by changing Section 3 as follows. This is what was actually changed in the bill. As used in this act, unless the context otherwise requires, A, cannabis includes marijuana, hashish, and other substances which are identified as including any parts of the plant Cannabis sativa, whether growing or not, the seeds thereof, the resin extracted from any part of such plant, and any compound of manufacture, salt, derivative, mixture, or preparation of such plant, its seeds or resin, including tetrahydrocannabinol, and all other cannabinol derivatives, including its naturally occurring or synthetically produced ingredients, whether produced directly or indirectly by extraction, or independently by means of chemical synthesis, or by a combination of extraction and chemical synthesis, but shall not include the mature stalks of such plant, fiber produced from such stalks, oil or cake made from the seeds of such plant, any compound, manufacturer, salt derivative mixture, salt, comma, derivative, comma, mixture, comma, or preparation of such mature stalks, except the resin extracted therefrom, like that would be like the hurd part, right? Fiber, oil, or cake, or the sterilized seed of such plant which is incapable of germination, Cannabis does not include low THC hemp extract as defined in the Commercial Low THC Hemp Extract Act.
which states that low THC hemp and hemp extracts, things that are 0.3% by total volume THC. And in a lot of instances, this is where the like
It's
I
a bit,
said,
yeah.
there's parts of this that make it very on the side of what your friend has sent us, and I'm into it.
Yeah.
I'm fully like, holy shit,
Well,
there
I
is
mean,
some
his
more
his point
in
is
depth,
that
but it's
he
the
knows a
upon.
lot, like the inspectors and the state people. Like he works very closely, sometimes with them. I'm not trying to call him out or anything by name, um, and so like he hears things from these people, and he's very reputable. And so like I think he may have a point, but I can't
No,
argue his information well enough. You know
I'm
what I
sure
mean?
it's gonna be, but the other thing is that is for Illinois hemp.
Correct.
As a hemp distributor, as somebody who intakes hemp, there's plenty of states that will ship you hemp
True.
that are by their state law, they're allowed to transfer hemp products to you. And whether or not you're receiving them properly or not, it's just there's so many fine lines that are being drawn. And if that's what this state is doing to combat it, is to tell every single lab that ever tests hemp for anything that they have to go through a new process where they are going to heat the cannabis up past a certain 220 degrees, because we know that that's when it starts to convert. And they're going to heat it up past 220 degrees for more than 7 minutes. And if it produces more than 0.3% THC, then you have an illegal product. Every every single piece of fucking hemp that's grown anywhere in Illinois would be illegally grown. And
Right.
I think that even our friends could tell you that, like, if it's being grown for cannabinoids, period,
Right.
if you were to fucking heat the thing up and you were to decarboxylate or put that molecule, which is why I can't wait to have Alex on here.
Right.
When you put that molecule through its transition phase, eventually it hits THC at some point.
Yeah.
That's one of that it's just a molecular
Change.
chain
Right.
that fucking kind of breaks down on itself and
Right.
just it's that's all
I
you're
mean,
doing is
humans do
taking
that
different
too.
parts off of it.
Yeah.
It's not like some,
It
I don't
just
know,
happens to be that fire and heat is the thing that does it. You know what I mean?
catalyst
Our
for,
body cells,
yeah.
they die. That's a chain. It's a process. You know what I mean? Like it's just it is what it is. It's crazy that these vape devices is like Canthal wire, which is what you would like find in a toaster. It's just a wire that you can heat up that doesn't break, some cotton, and like a flashlight kind of deal that
Yeah.
provides power with a battery.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's very simple stuff.
Yeah.
It just happens to be that heat and flame does that. Just happens to be that this does this. Like that's just how you get around it.
Yeah.
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 Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, hey. Yeah. I can't.
Fuck the rules. I mean, I understand that like you have when you're actually have a business and you're doing things, then you have to play by those rules. But like, fuck them. Fuck them rules.
Well,
Fuck them kids.
yeah.
Not your kid.
I think no matter what industry you're in or no matter what you're doing, we all understand that think about every fucking job you've ever had, every single one of them, everybody's towing the fucking
Yep.
lines of what they should be or should not be doing. Even down to some of the fucking industrial
CEOs.
factories that I fucking
Oh,
worked in,
shit.
where like I worked in a
used to
couple of
run-
factories and shit, and them motherfuckers are cheating here and there to fucking skirt the rules, and they
Yeah.
got inspectors that come in and do
Yep.
the same fucking shit that we're all trying to skirt. We're just doing it in a place that has been illegal for a long time. It's not illegal to run a fucking factory unless it has little kids fucking working in it. But past that, fucking, you can run a factory. Oh, we've never been able to do the cannabis thing in the capacity that we do now, and
Yeah.
kind of speaking about it and getting to a place where everybody is comfortable with what's going on. It's a wild transition, but also too, it's what does this specific law that we're all supposed to watch out for, because if not, the Banded Belt of Brothers comes up with their inspectors and fucking all kinds of wild shit can happen, right?
Yep.
Nobody wants to go through all that. I'll do it legally. Just fucking tell me how. But then at the same time, it's where on that scale do you want to go? Do you want to be all the way to the brown nosing side where you go, oh, I follow it to the T, and anything that's even interpretable and close, I have to fucking bend to it, because if not, it means my livelihood. Well, of course, that's very much so what it can mean. Or do you go to the full other side where I know people that are interpreting this law to state that 0.3% THC means something? You're asking for THC. This plant in the state that I'm sitting it in is just THCA. You went and heated it up.
Right.
I'm getting COAs from fucking California, from fucking
Yep.
Colorado, from Oregon, from Washington that state 0.3%, that don't go through this wild ass heat up process if that's what people are going through. But it's all, how far do you want to push on this scale? Because if you want to, people, I'm telling you, man, I'm telling everybody right now, people are doing some wild shit, and they're using the loose interpretation and the loose understanding of this plant to do some wild shit with. I'm not promoting it. I'm not saying, I've said y'all should get the fuck on board, because if you know what you're saying and you know what laws you're hiding behind,
Yeah.
and it's not even hiding behind it,
You're
get it-
shielding. You're shielded by those laws.
get a good enough fucking lawyer who can read this shit.
Right.
Any one of us can read this and say, that's fucking horribly interpretable. That's not clearly stated at all. I don't want to be the example of it.
Right.
But also, too,
I don't want to be the first one.
if people are making a living right now
Yeah.
doing this thing, if all
And
the
they're
rest of
having-
us are sitting here
and-
fucking struggling, that's all I'm saying, is there's a means for some
Yeah.
people to be making a few extra dollars, making their fucking life a little bit easier.
Just like
And
vaping.
It's
Same thing.
with
Exactly.
whatever venture you take
Right.
in your life, I just want you to have the easiest thing. Don't fucking hurt nobody while you're doing what you're
Yeah.
doing. Don't lace your goddamn THCA flower with fentanyl.
Right.
Yeah, fuck you then, right? But if you're simply just producing cannabis and well, it's not cannabis, it's just THCA hemp. If you're simply doing that, and that is what this fucking thing is saying, you're allowed to do. You're genuinely allowed to do it in some capacities.
Yeah.
I would, I don't hate on people, and I think it's fucking ridiculous if anybody ever gets trapped up in this and becomes the example of what's the difference in hemp and whatever. I'm just saying it's one step closer to people being allowed to do something that to all of us seems very non-harmful, and they're not very impactful. It's a non-harmful.
Charlie.
Oh yeah. It's a non-harmful plant that it does cause harm in some ways, but it's typically when misused, right? And that's what we even are trying to say here, is that it's not infallible ever. It's not whatever. There's issues, but it comes typically through misuse. And if we all use this thing in whatever capacity we use it in, if you want to call it THCA hemp and make a few extra bucks pushing packs or whatever's going on a THCA hemp flower, then by all means, I don't believe you're doing anything wrong. That's my theory to it. And not only my theory, the law is loosely interpretable enough for us to say that when heated, I didn't heat the damn thing. When it came to me, its THC content was 0.3 or lower. That's all I have to pay attention to as a distributor, right? Like I'm not supposed to know what's going on. I sell plenty of other things. I'm
You
more
sell
of,
biomass.
right. I'm more of
If you want to be honest.
well, right. Well, even then, for anybody
Right,
else
there's
who is out there,
COAs and
you're
stuff.
you're a t-shirt salesman, you're a pipe
Yeah.
salesman, you're a fucking
Yeah.
you sell hopes and fucking dreams. I don't give a flying fuck. You your byproduct is THCA flower that
Right.
somebody told you, and all of a sudden it started selling well,
Yeah.
and now I'm happy to represent it. I feel like the people who sold it to me represented it as being safe because
Yeah.
of the laws, and
Correct.
I'm not a fucking lawyer. I kind of loosely read over it, and I saw the 0.3%. And I'm not saying that you have to.
It's hemp. I
Now
bought it
that
at the
you've
gas
heard me,
station.
you've kind of premeditated all the different directions, but to not put any thought into this would be a foolish mistake. But when you actually put some thought into it and you go, "Holy shit, I think I could make a few extra bucks and I could do so
Something I'm passionate about.
not so scaredly," right? I'm just saying I got pulled over the other day, said, "Nope, that's hemp." And they went, "Ah, okay, okay, whatever.
Yep.
Onward, onward, Ricky Bobby." So
Hey, can we talk about this real quick?
let's do it.
There's cookies in Chicago. There's a cookie store now. Hey,
Hey.
they're at like 215 North Clinton Street, Chicago. I'm sure it's really great flour. Shout out, watch us on Smoking with Savages for how we feel about Illinois dispensary flour.
Yeah.
Yes, so there's a cookies in Chicago, and they definitely bought a license from a social equity winner. And
Is that what happened?
yeah, absolutely. So,
Yeah, well, and so I've talked about it a bunch too. They did one of the best
oh
branding
yeah,
things that's ever
100%.
happened. Cookies
Shout out
is
supportdopepeople.com. You can buy t-shirts there. I have dab mats coming that are really cool, that are inexpensive, and they're actually cork.
bingo.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Just
bingo.
cool stuff. Support us. Yeah.
Yeah.
So like they're popping. They got stuff for
Jesus
yep,
Christ, dude. They marked down. Oh no, it's an infused pre-roll. Thank God.
thirty
I was
percent,
I
thirty
was like,
percent
dude,
off.
they marked that fucker down to 19 fucking dollars.
Yeah, like this Encore pomegranate punch 1 to 2 CBN gummies, 100 milligrams, $20.
Dude, that's pre-taxes
That's
though.
pre-taxes.
Well, and we already know Illinois' market's busted, but uh, Cookies has got a following across the whole
Oh
fucking
yeah, it's
thing.
gonna be everybody in Chicago is gonna be they're on that. Well, I was talking shout out to Alex. Alex, he's like, yeah, when they fucking made their packaging available to people, and I was like, oh
That's
yeah,
that's
that
that's what
was
I'm saying.
100%
They're a brand
right.
that they're it's literally it's like if Nike was to say, okay, everybody out there in the world could just put that swoosh on their shit, then and put right just do it underneath it. Their Nike would never sell another motherfucking thing again. But that's it. They don't need to because they sold the branding license or whatever. And that's what this place does. They sell the branding license so that you can brand yourself as a cookies, whatever, and get part of it. And it's got a cult following, and that's okay. If you like cookies shit, more power to you. I'm
Support
just telling you that.
support your local green cultures. I love them, and your exotics from your friend Bob. You know what I mean? And
Hey,
of course, Family Cannabis Crew. 420. Support those packs. Those are way better packs than what you're gonna get from cookies. You know what I mean? Come out to a farmer's market and get something that's grown from love. Look at this. Eighth for $46.
pre-tax.
Pre-tax.
Yeah, it's 30% off too. They
Yeah.
typically want to sell that thing for 67 fucking
Yeah.
dollars, dude.
$70 an eighth. It's that used to be like decent prices, but it's crazy that the market prices are what like the old the old pirate way used to be. You know what I mean?
Jesus Christ.
60 and eighth, 120 a quarter, and that's assuming that you're making like $10 on each transaction or 15 to 20 if you do it right.
Yeah, these
Ooh, Terp Tank. Heavy eye. That's great. Shout out to Cookies. Great branding, great t-shirts. I
yeah.
know one of my friends is really big on some of their new breeder they bought, but I don't know. It's corporatism. Fuck
Hey,
'em.
I'm not mad at it. Like I
Yeah, I'm
said,
not mad at it.
I think it's really
Please,
neat. I
please,
think what
please
they
buy a
did with that, I
t-shirt.
think what Burner did with that is fucking dope as fuck. I think it's one of the neatest shits that he took this fucking thing that all of a sudden we couldn't say Girl Scout cookies and it just fucking snowballed into
Oh, did he did they copyright that?
Oh, the Girl Scout cookies? That's
Yeah.
why everything had to stop being called cookies for a long time until
No
this
shit.
guy was
Oh,
smart enough to
that's
bring
right.
back the cookies name and just call it cookies on its own. He branded it up, he licensed it up, and now he's I fucking think it's the most gangster move in all of cannabis, personally.
Yeah, I like the franchise model. I mean, like, I appreciate that and I appreciate the branding. I mean, it's just, yeah, you're right. I'm not actually mad at it because they're doing what they have to do to play within the rules.
Bro,
And you know what
make
I mean?
money, man. Everybody make money.
Don't hate the player, hate the
He
game.
figured out a real cool way to
Yeah, you're
capitalize,
right.
and it's the same thing with,
I'm just
like,
being snobby, like I wouldn't want to smoke cookies, you know what I mean? But like,
well, so the thing
so I
is,
guess that's what it
depending
is.
on what state you're in and who the cultivator of the cookies brand is, it can be
I think they got in
horribly
with
different
I
fucking things.
I
Like,
think they got in with Ascend Wellness
that was at the
originally,
beginning at
right?
least.
Yeah.
They might have transferred here and there, but
I hope they're with GTI or
every
Cresco.
single cultivator in the state, I don't know what their compete clauses are or what they got,
Right.
but I think all these fucking cultivators over here could buy cookies branding.
Yeah.
But when they came in and they had all these new strains and shit, like the I don't know that they were growing cannabis for multiple months behind the scenes and not growing their own stuff. We were in a pinch of like supply and demand at that point.
Yeah.
And they had plenty of shit on the shelves.
Yeah.
So, like, it wasn't like, I mean, they had to been running their own shit. How are you gonna hide all this other shit? I don't think they did. What I think they did was start packaging it up in different fucking packages, called it whatever Cookies wanted to call it instead of what they were calling it, and bingo bango. Now I've got some different flour. They changed the names up. Names don't mean anything in the
Right.
corporatized fucking market of
Correct.
things. That's why, like, it means something to say like goat in front of something or like DJ Short or like fucking, if anybody's talking about like Aaron Roscom or fucking who's that other dude with the THCV guy, Jack Herrera,
Yeah.
or fucking like all of that shit matters, right?
Yeah.
Like that shit, you start saying names like that, that fucking makes a difference. But when you say, and I don't even give a fuck what the name is now, Tutti Frutti Magooty, or even call it Alaskan Thunderfuck or White Widow or whatever. We do not, there is no guarantee that that thing is a replica of whatever you've had it as before, or it's even closely I mean, just the growing habits could be different, the
Yep.
environment could be different, the terpenoid content can be completely different. I've seen plants swing all the way from where where a lab tested them as fucking sativa, then the next batch that they grew of the same fucking flower. All right, well, it had to been a different phenotype. Well, who fucking knows, right?
Right.
That's the whole thing with these grow fucking spots. They used to say different phenotypes and whatever, but so you mean to tell me from one side of the plant to the other side of the plant, they produced such drastically different fucking babies that like
That's
now they're two completely different things. One's an indica and one's a sativa. And that's why, again, this plant is more than just a bunch of fucking names. It's got more going for it. In one half of it means more than the other half of it if we're pulling different phenos, or we go, okay, well, it's from different seeds. Them seeds came off of one plant.
yeah.
All right. So that
Well,
one
I mean,
plant seeds
a
can
lot of
be
the stuff's like lab
completely
grown
different.
now. Like they do a lot of lab growing. You can actually extract the genetics from old seeds now, like in a sterile environment. People are, doing different genetic things with actual like leaf cultivation and stuff like that.
Dude, I should give our boy some of these old ass seeds I got. I got
You
some
should,
like
hey, you should give him to,
old,
yeah, you should give him to Kevin.
old
Kevin's
seven,
your dude.
seven
Th-
like from the 70s and shit.
yeah, no, like, yeah,
Yeah, I would
that's how
love
he
to
got
know.
his 89 Igmar bag seed because it was in a like an enclosed puck, and he, did what he did. He's like, you can get any seed to pop, and if you can't, you can send it out to the lab, and they'll send you something back. And I was like, no shit,
Yeah,
that's fucking cool.
I have a legitimate jar of old seeds from different what he was calling, like, his good buds when he was getting them back in the day, and he was throwing them into
Landrace,
jars and shit.
probably landrace strains. That you could
You know what I
have
mean?
some
The
really
red buds, the gold buds, the
Right.
yeah, yeah. I got a fucking jar of them. They're probably about, I don't know, 50 to 100 seeds in there would be my guess.
Really?
Yeah, yeah,
Dude, that's sick.
yeah,
Shout out to the other homie, Greens Concha, who sent down some Afghan Red can of Chris.
yeah, fire.
Yeah. Yeah,
Super fire.
he's a farmer down in Southern Illinois. I always see him. He'll be in the combine listening to our podcast.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
I
awesome.
get some of those
I
stories. And I'm
love
like, fuck
that.
yeah.
I love that.
So,
I'm glad that's what's going on with this.
yeah, we got
Glad
some cool
people are
people that listen
listening.
in. Yeah.
Always, please, again, do the commenting thing.
Yeah.
Feedback is awesome.
Tell us what you don't like.
Please, that's even better. Um,
Yeah.
a real friend will tell you the hard shit, right? Like, you want to be some real friends? Tell me the real shit. What you rather change, hear, do,
Yeah.
anything. Tips and pointers. I'm fucking fully in for it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But again,
ideas, anything. You just let us know.
but I just enjoy doing this with you, and I think that's the important part. You know what I mean? Is that I think people like they can tell that the relationship is genuine. You know what I mean? And
Hey,
that's
my
not
brother.
always easy. You know what I mean?
No,
Yeah.
I this outside of us just being boys, and I
Yeah.
mean, we disc golf together. We spend plenty of excess time outside of just doing this together. But um, I think cannabis is that it makes it
Right.
really easy to have a genuine interaction because there's times where you and I even too have slightly different viewpoints of
Yeah.
it, and it's just being able to exhaust that passion and go, no, listen, I think look at it this way, and I like the back and forth period, but
Yeah.
being it that it's over a topic that isn't controversial. It's not like it shouldn't be, at least, right? It's not
Right.
fucking the 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 political fucking race. It's not the fucking uh um the skin color shit. It's not
Right.
the fucking who gives a fuck what
Yeah,
fucking sport
it's not
team you
controversial
fucking
topics
like.
that we're really
It's not
talking
fucking
about.
dude, it's just
We're
it
telling you
can't
about the news. We're telling you about what's actually going on because
cannabis is light as fuck.
yeah.
This
Yeah.
shit's nice.
Yeah.
It's fucking nice. That's what
It's
Smoking with Savages
hell yeah.
had a great time. But one of the things that we clicked on and it's like we all that's why we kind of came to this thing to
Oh
begin
yeah.
with. This shit's nice.
Yeah.
It's very comfortable. It's very um communal. All
Yeah.
right. It doesn't have to be competition. That was a big
Right.
thing. We all stated a bunch. It's not competition.
Everybody can
It's
eat.
community.
Yep.
There's plenty of space for every one of us to all get our thing done and to exist. The conversation, which you and I are starting to engage and trying to engage by asking for questions and feedback
Yeah.
and whatever, let us know what you want to talk about, even if it's cannabis related or if anything that we say triggers you. But it's normalizing the speech and the understanding of what this plant is capable of.
Yep.
And you can't be an expert on all of it, right? There's just too much fucking going on. It's too intricate. If one side of the plant and the other side of the plant are producing two different fucking plants, and the seeds that the one plant drops can make a thousand different little things, whatever the hell it is, how the hell it's too much molecular science going on for you to interpret and understand all of it, right?
Yeah.
So there has to be a more digestible you know,
Resource.
yeah, understanding of how the hell this thing all looks, and then all of us should be having conversation going,
Yeah.
how can
How
we
can we navigate it?
further this? How can we push this further?
Yeah.
And what can I represent? And if you purely can only represent a product or something and you go, "Hey, I have a product offering," 1,000,000% all the good to you. But a lot of us are people who have passion, who want to exhaust that and figure out how to make this a existable place, even an existable market for all of us to make a living off of by by exhausting our passion. And again, a lot of us aren't product representatives. A lot of us, even though we have our products that we're doing well and we're kicking ass with them and whatever, we have to represent the product at some point so that we can make a sale and keep the income
Mhm.
coming. A lot more of us want to understand how to exhaust that passion for this plant and to make it as communal and accepting as what we have felt by consuming it over the majority of time that we have or whatever.
Yeah.
It's and I say the majority of time that we've been consuming, it feels better. There's some times where we all can agree it feels goofy, it feels a little awkward, whatever. Overcoming that, understanding how we overcome that, how do we make it to the next stage where now it's this comfortable thing that all of us do
Right.
every day, and it makes us feel connected, right? Communal.
Yeah.
It's just it's and far less stressed the fuck out.
Yeah. People.
I ain't worried about dumbass shit, trivial fucking measurements, right? What political group do you? That's a trivial measurement. Nobody
Yep.
gives a fuck. What color your skin is? That's a trivial measurement. Nobody gives a fuck. Who you want to fuck? Nobody gives a fuck. Trivial measurement.
Right.
What sports team you fucking worship or whatever?
My
Trivial
regional
fucking.
billionaire is better than your
Yeah,
regional billionaire.
that's literally we're just arguing over
Nothing.
shit that isn't going to and every one of us who likes these things, it's okay. Like your sports teams, be political, be whatever, but when we're smoking and we're fucking grounded and we're feeling this like
Yeah.
real earthy feeling or whatever, none of that shit matters.
Right.
When we're sitting here in this moment,
Yeah.
bro, there could be a fucking war going on outside. I
And
don't
there
have a
is.
streaming well, there is, right? There could be some wild shit going on directly outside this building. I don't fucking know. And none of us will, right?
Right.
There's too much that you can get your fucking brain looped up into and worried about. And I'm better than you and you're better than me. I got to show you how individual I am so that I'm not anything like you. No, fuck that, man. Well, a lot more of us are just like each other.
Yep.
We consume this fucking plant, makes us feel good. I don't know what the fuck, enjoy your life, man.
Enjoy your life.
And
Search for community. Search for like-minded people. And if you feel like that was about you, take what you will from it.
Yeah.
I know I will.
have conversations.
Yeah. Have
That's it.
conversations about it.
Talk to us.
Yeah.
Put it in the chat
Yeah.
in the whatever. Put
Cut-
it somewhere.
Come to tags Sunday morning at
Hey.
9 a.m.
There you go.
Hopefully we'll see Drew at one of them.
That'd be cool.
And, support dope people, love green culture, cope when you need it.
Hey, fucking A, right.
It was a great episode today, bro.
Yeah, I had a good time.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. Appreciate you.
We love you all. Peace.
Yo, ding dong, we're done here. Time to go.